Go to the Bible to the 9th Psalm. The 9th Psalm. We're going to read the last few verses. We'll start verse number 17. The Bible says the wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God. For the needy shall not always be forgotten. The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. Arise, O Lord, let no man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, O Lord, that the nations may know themselves to be but men. Selah. I want to preach the thought, our forgetful nation. And people, that's who we are. I mean, we need to understand that we as a country has forgotten everything that our country was founded on. They're bound and determined to destroy our history. They want to rewrite our history. They don't want you to know that John Jay, the first Supreme Court Justice that was appointed by George Washington, when he left being a Supreme Court Justice, he established the American Bible Society that was responsible for getting every child in school a Bible. Hello. You can't even mention God in school now. The first Supreme Court Justice said every child in school needs a Bible. Now, who's been smoking enough crack to look in the First Amendment where it says the government shall make no law pertaining to religion and freedom of speech, and they can tell us it's separation of church and state, and that phrase is not even in the Constitution. They've smoked enough crack that they got people to believe how stupid they really are. That phrase comes from the Baptist Danbury letter written by Thomas Jefferson. If you read the whole paragraph, he said there is a wall between the government and the church, but unless Christians control our government, we're doomed to fail. They don't want to read the rest of it. They just take that one phrase. Because that's what they do, people. They're crooked. They're not going to tell you the truth. They're tearing down Thomas Jefferson's statue, the man that wrote our Constitution, that gave us our freedom. They're tearing down his statue. Why? Because they want to forget what made America great. Our forefathers were great men. I don't care what they do. You ain't got a right to go out and tear up nothing just to tear it up. If it don't belong to you, leave it alone. But we're not that way anymore. John Jay on his deathbed, getting ready to pass away, somebody walked in and said, "Is there anything you'd like me to tell your children?" He reached on the nightstand and he picked up his Bible and he said, "They have the book." But see, we used to be a government for the people, by the people, not the people. Now it's of the politician, by the politician, for the politician. You can go broke to Capitol Hill and be a millionaire in 2 years. Tell me something crooked isn't going on. AOC was bankrupt when she went in and now she can fly anywhere in the world she wants to. But she voted right. Nobody bought a vote in a single time. That's foolishness, people. You can't go to Washington, D.C. and be broke and make it rich without people donating. Hello? What are you saying, preacher? Washington, D.C. is filled with a bunch of lying crooks. People, we've lost our mind in this country. I've never been so ashamed to be an American to the last few months. I'm embarrassed to tell people I'm from the United States. Why? Just think about it. Nobody is even looking and thinking what God would have them to do. Stupidity's running rampant. What gives you the right to go anywhere? Now they want to tear Christ and images of Christ out of everything because that is a racist comment. We're offended by it. Tell you what, instead of destroying our country, go to Cuba. Go change their country. They don't have Christ on a cross. They don't have a cross. Go. What's holding you back? If we're offending you so bad, go. You think I'm going to go to the same place that I'm offended at again and again and again? You're stupid if you think I'm going to do that. But we're going to change things. No, you're not. You're trying to steal things. I wonder how much our children actually learn in history now. People, if you don't know the history, you know, I always ask the question when people come up with a new idea. They come up and say, I want to legalize drugs. I always ask them, well, why do you want to legalize drugs? Because in 1910 we made them illegal. Why did we make them illegal? And they can't answer. Well, until you can tell me why they made them illegal, there's no sense in us talking. They made them illegal because it was destroying the society. They took cocaine out of Coca-Cola. You talking about an energy drink? Well, that must have been an energy drink. Drink one of them followed by Red Bull and a Monster, you'd be good for days. Cough syrup had cocaine in it. But it crumbled our society. They wanted to defund law enforcement. Why did we bring law enforcement into the world? Because our streets was running rampant and one sheriff couldn't control 10 towns. So we brought law enforcement in to keep law in order. And if you notice, everywhere the law enforcement is not showing up is where there is complete disorder. They're running by tribal rules. In our country. In our country. That my forefathers shed their blood that you and I could be free. They're going to tell us what they're going to do with our country. They better go find some more crack to smoke because it ain't happening. But they're a bunch of terrorists. And once you give in to terrorists, you cannot give them enough. Now they're saying if New York don't cut $1 billion from law enforcement, they will burn the system. And nobody's up in arms about it? I'd have an aneurysm. That's a coward statement. If you want to change it and be a man about it, why don't you join the law enforcement and show us how to do it right, because everything we do is wrong. You go out there and get shot at on a traffic stop. You go out there and get beat up when you try to put handcuffs on a guy. Oh, no, I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to tell them they're wrong for doing it. Show me better. Colin Kaepernick, put on a badge and work for 10 years and tell me how to do your law enforcement better than we're doing. I love these people that all they do is read an article in the newspaper. Now they know law enforcement. You don't know nothing. If I'm at a traffic stop and a man turns around and faces me like he's going to charge me, I'm sorry, get a body bag ready. Because I am not going to fight a man twice my size. No, not going to happen. Just get a body bag ready. Well, preacher's unarmed. He was charging me. He's dead. It's over with. Oh, no. Why do the felons get all the rights and citizens and law enforcement get nothing? See, I'm a strange one. When I cut and blood comes out of me, it comes out red, white, and blue. It don't come out red. I joined the service willing to do anything for my country. God called me out of it, but I was willing to go and do anything. Why freedom is precious. And we got a bunch of cowards back in the States going to tell us what we can do with our freedom. We've got so far away from God that John Roberts, the justice, turned and voted with the liberals that church is no more important then concerts and theaters are under the same rules they are. So now all they're going to do is say, everybody has to be closed. They can close every church in America now. That court ruling gave them complete power over churches. They also voted another bill in. And here's John Roberts leading the charge. And Gorsuch even got in on this, the traitor that he is. And what did he say? Oh, you know what? You can't discriminate at anything. And the House of Representatives came out and they said, you know what this means? Religious institutions are not exempt anymore. So if we decide to hire a secretary here and we post it, if a homosexual shows up, I've got to give them the job or I can be sued. Chew on that a while, people. That representative of New York came out laughing. He said, that means your days of religious freedom is over. Thanks, John Roberts. Thanks, Gorsuch. Y'all did this good. Y'all stood up for the Christian people. Cowards that you are. I like people to take a stand. Take a stand. If it's going to be a bloody fight, let it be a bloody fight. Let's go. But no, preacher, you'll offend somebody. Everybody's offended by something today. That bird flew too close to me. I'm offended at that bird. These people have to have emotional support creatures wherever they go. One of them tried to get a miniature horse on an airplane. And you think you scared me if you have to have a support animal? No, you don't scare me at all. No, not going to happen. John Jay was a fascinating justice. Patrick Henry made the statement, I love this one. It cannot be emphasized too strongly or too often that this great nation was founded not by religionists, but by Christians. Not on religions, but on the gospel of Jesus Christ. For this very reason, people of other faiths have been afforded asylum, prosperity, and freedom to worship here. So what was our country founded on? Christianity. Our forefathers got off on Plymouth Rock. They had, I hate to tell you people that, they didn't have a King James Bible with them. They had a 1560 Geneva Bible under their arm and a flintlock rifle. And what are they trying to take from us today? Our arms and our Bible. Yeah, they are. Where's that crowd that said they'd never get our guns? You look how close they are to getting them right now. Virginia's going after them just as hot and as fast as they can. It's a mess. Patrick Henry, before he died, made a statement to somebody. He walked in the room, he was reading the Bible, and he said, here's a book worth more than all the other books that were ever printed. So our great forefathers were Christian people. See, and they understood something. They understood that God does not judge nations in eternity. God judges nations in the present. He judges individuals in eternity. But he judges people throughout eternity. Nations he judges now. Everybody wants to jump on the Black Lives Matter train. My Bible tells me 2 sparrows don't fall from the sky that he didn't know about it. The very hair of your head is numbered every time you comb your hair. And if you're going bald, he knows what just came out. And you're going to tell me the only life that matters is black? If that's so, why was there 104 black-on-black shootings in Chicago last weekend? See, Black Lives Matter only if police is involved.